These are all high-end pro state-of-the-art flashes, and they're all capable of doing all three things that a flash needs to do for a professional. One, it needs to work in TTL mode, and it needs to work well in TTL mode. Two, you need to be able to turn TTL mode off and use it in its manual exposure mode. And three, we believe that all professionals have to buy a flash that will also work in auto exposure mode, because TTL for fill flash applications doesn't work outside. You probably already know that, don't you? That technology has one major flaw that a lot of the flash manufacturers like to skip right over. That is, TTL in fill flash mode doesn't work outside. TTL needs to be the brightest flash in the room in order for it to see its pre-flash technology, and if it doesn't see the pre-flash, it just guesses. Anytime we go outside, we take our flash out of TTL mode and we put it into auto exposure mode. We find out that we get great exposures. Next on the list. If you want to use wireless TTL and you happen to be a Q-Flash user, or you just want a different way to trigger your flashes, Quantum makes a system called FreeXWire. FreeXWire that's great. And until last week, when the Pocket Wizard wireless TTL system came out, the only way to have wireless TTL that didn't use that nasty little infrared system, you know, that little red blinky light that's in the front of the flash, doesn't work so great. Right? The only way we could get wireless TTL information to actually work every time was to use Quantum's FreeXWire system using Quantum equipment. Well now, since Pocket Wizard came out with the TT, we have the ability to do that wire instead of infrared through our regular flashes. But FreeXWire, excellent choice. Excellent choice. Plus, on the new Quantum shoe-mounted flash called a Trio, there's a FreeXWire already built into it, a transmitter and receiver built into it. First-rate stuff. Right. There you go. Chin down a little bit. That a girl. Head tilt a little this way. Yep. Good. Cross your arms in front of you. Yep. That's great. Stay right there. Okay, let's turn you into that light because I got no fill light. There you go. Yep, right there. Stay right there. Yep, let me see a little more shoulder. Right, here we are. Head tilt a little this way. Right, good. Chin down a little more. Nose a little more that way. Right there, stay right there. Okay, now watch. I'm gonna back button focus. Stay right there, Aiden. I'm gonna focus on her eye and I'm gonna press back button focus and watch. Big smile. Yep, good job. Bigger. Yep. Check this out though. Ooh, we got a nice shot. Let's go pull number 39. Terrific. How's that for light quality? Oh, it's all good. That's nice. From a pop-up flash. Can you believe that? Okay, I'm going to show you one little crazy Crockett trick. You ready? Remember I talked about the whole kill it and bill it? I got this whole thing down cold. There are times when we will go into a city for a photo shoot and we will have say an extra day or an extra half day in order to do whatever we want to do. So I'm going to take these images here and I'm going to bring them into Lightroom. And what we'll do is we will go on to one of the model websites and we will tell them that we have an extra half a day and here's what we do, or a full day, and we will charge usually $600 to $800 per girl. We'll hire in a pro-grade hair and makeup person. They'll get 10 or 15-minute photo sessions with me. But what I'll do is I'll pull a permit to shoot someplace like really cool that they wouldn't get to go. And we'll go to Nikon and Canon both have wireless TTL triggering technology built into them. That's what these red panels are. Unfortunately, they use infrared light in order to communicate data back and forth, which in small spots actually works well. And in fact, METS, if you buy METS for Canon or METS for Nikon, actually has the same ability. So we could actually trigger wirelessly this Nikon flash with this METS flash using the built-in technology if we wanted to. But as soon as we point these away from each other, the light gets absorbed by the walls, it doesn't see it. As soon as we take it outside, forget about it, right? It's going to have to rely on light bouncing. And professional photographers find out that when they go shoot a wedding reception or even a banquet that's in this room, that using the built-in wireless TTL function is just not trustworthy enough to rely on. So they're going to want to switch over to a radio frequency that will give you triggering every time you press the button. Meaning you can slide this onto your camera, put another flash on top of it, and you can also trigger out from a sync port to another flash or your studio strobes. Next, notice this funny little white box in the front of there? That's a white light slave too. So if you just want to trigger your flash inside or in low light conditions from a second flash, booyah, that'll trigger out just fine. And in fact, we'll use that a little later today. But on the back, that PC sync port goes both ways. It syncs out and it syncs in, either way you want to use it. So here's what we do. We take the little brass fitting that comes from the Manfrotto umbrella clamp. We screw it into the bottom of this little METS adapter, or you could use one of the other ones. This is, how much do these cost? $56. Okay, so there's less than $60. We're going to fit this right inside here. Now we'll take our flash. We'll shut it off, by the way, because it will pop when we put it on. Slide it on here. It has the ability to rotate, which is really nice. I'm going to lock my flash down. Now, we can just trigger through that PC port in the back using our, or Skyport, or
the other one.
Yeah! Free X wire. Now, you'll also find that this setup, in fact, you can even see, Dave, take a shot this way. You can see that that reflector is so shiny, it's picking up this fluorescent light and it's kicking underneath Aiden. See it? You'll see that that light setup, this over-under light setup, kind of has a sweet spot, meaning how far away from the subject does it want to be? You'll experiment with it and see. You'll notice, depending on the shape of the subject's face and the hairdo of our subject too, the closer they are, the more split that lighting is going to be. You're going to see a soft light here and a hard light here. But when she moves back, those two lights blend, and you don't see soft light and harder light. You start to see one light just kind of melt together. And at some point, if you move back, it actually gets a little blobby. It gets a little too soft. So you experiment with where you like it for your particular taste, but I'll show you exactly where I like to put it, okay? All right, first up.